Yesterday, Caesars Sportsbook put out their over and under on LSU's win total. Had the Tigers total at 9. In fact, if we want to make a OTB poll this morning, maybe a little over under LSU's win total of 9. That according to the Caesars Sportsbook. You have a feeling here?
Yeah, we talked about this on the Hold That podcast yesterday, which for some reason I don't know if it's posted or not yet. I'm trying to get in touch with the Athletic and see what the deal is. But over under win total for the Tigers set at 9. And that's kind of interesting. You think that normally those things go to 9.5, and the only issue with that is, as Brody points out, when you look at LSU's schedule, and this is not including bowl games, so this is 12 regular season games. It's a very important caveat.
You mean to run down the schedule real quick?
Yeah, we can look at the schedule.
So you open San Antonio, Texas, San Antonio on September 5th. The University of Texas comes into Baton Rouge on September 12th. Rice comes into Baton Rouge on September 19th. The month of September is closed out with an SEC opener versus Ole Miss in Baton Rouge. Let me back up. That Rice game is in Houston at NRG Stadium. So the first month of the season, you're at home 3 out of the first 4 weekends with Texas San Antonio, the Longhorns of Texas in town. You travel the third weekend, September 19th, to Rice, to Houston to play the Owls. Then you close out the month of September with Ole Miss at home in Tiger Stadium. In October, you opened up with Nicholls in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium. October 10th, you go to Gainesville to play Florida. On October 17th, an earlier tilt versus Arkansas. You'll be in Fayetteville to face the Hogs on October 17th. You close out the month of October in Baton Rouge, taking on Mississippi State. A bye week to start November. Then on November 7th, Alabama's in town. November 14th, South Carolina is in town. On November 21st, you travel to Auburn, which is a late playing date for Auburn for the first time on the schedule in a while. And then November 28th, you play Texas A&M in College Station. So there's the 12 regular season games for LSU coming up in 2020.
Yeah, okay. And so when I look at that schedule, I see 4 guaranteed wins of the first 5. I think you beat Arkansas. I think you beat Mississippi State. I think you beat South Carolina.
So you got Texas San Antonio a win, you got Rice a win, you got Ole Miss a win, and you got Nicholls a win.
Yes.
You are you're up in the air. You're up in the air on Texas.
Well, we'll circle back around. I'm just trying to look for guaranteed wins here at first pass. Arkansas push you to 5. So Mississippi State push you to 6. South Carolina to 7. And then this is where things start to get a bit interesting. Because when I look at that Florida team, I think Florida is the best team in the East. Mm-hmm. I think that there is no argument, the more I think about it, that Kyle Trask is going to be the best returning quarterback in the SEC. And look, I know that Georgia has all this expectation, and Jamie Newman transferring Wake Forest does, but Jordy, here's the deal. Lost in the conversation with this Georgia team. And I mean, yes, I get why they get the benefit of the doubt because of what Kirby Smart's done there in his 4 years. But it's not just a new quarterback. They're replacing 10 of their 11 starters offensively. They're a bit like where LSU was 2 years ago. Now, maybe they can accelerate that process. It took LSU 2 years to kind of get it together. Maybe Georgia can accelerate that process, but I don't know that I can sit here and say that I expect them to have a better offense in Dan Mullen and Trask in Florida with all their returning weapons. It just they're going to have to prove that to me.
I agree.
So going into the swamp feels very sketchy, and I'll just say that's a loss right now. At home versus Alabama, I'm going to say that's a loss right now. I just think that if we're going to what's most likely, the math probably dictates that. I hope I'm wrong, but LSU traditionally not very good in Tiger Stadium against Bama. So what are we at now? I think we're at 7 wins and 2 losses. And then there's 3 interesting games to me, and that's at A&M, at Auburn, and at home versus Texas. The only thing about it, just mathematically, odds-wise, it's going to be tough to 3-0 those games, right? So if you win 2 or 3, you're right there at that 9-3 number for the regular season. And so setting that line at 9, I think, makes a lot of sense because if you set it at 9.5, and Brody knows way more about this, and he's a gambling nerd, and he pointed this all out to me. So these are not my takes. But if you set it at 9.5, the easy play is to take 9, right? And so you're going to get way too many people on that side. If you're looking for more action, if you're looking for more 50-50 action, setting it at 9, I think does that, and it offers you the better measure of protection. Everybody measures protection because if they hit the 9, then it's a push. It's all good for everybody involved. But yeah, I think that.
And make no mistake, Las Vegas is scared to death of LSU.
If I
They got-
after
They
last
got
season.
pummeled by the Tigers in 2019.
Yeah, and so like forget about the gambling angle. Just think about what we expect them to do. And to me, I see 9-3. I've been consistent with that. I see nothing to change my mind. Maybe we could have used more information from spring ball to inform our decisions and gone more positive with this team or more negative. But without that new information, yeah, I'm just going to stay consistent here. I think they go 9-3 with the bowl game. I think a chance to get to 10 wins, and I think that'd be a very successful season. Following everything they lost, everything they're replacing, that would put them in the top 10 and in a New Year's Six bowl.
We'll talk to Tommy Moffitt, who's the strength coach from LSU, coming up at 8:15 this morning, more about LSU football. But if you've listened or have not listened to Ed Ogeron, who was here 24 hours ago on OTB, he's called really the MVP of this new normal, or how football programs are trying to exist in preparation and trying to get prepared for the 2020 season. Moffitt's been the MVP of the LSU football program. We'll ask him some of the things about how he's adjusted to bringing the program kind of into the players' homes from the facility.
Yeah, and the other problem that Jamie Newman as well as LSU is going to be dealing with is just that. They're working in new pieces at critical spots. For LSU, it's less than Georgia, but it's still quarterback, center, left tackle. And you would have really liked spring and summer, and Coach O mentioned it, Miles Brennan getting his timing down with the receivers. Well, Newman's in the same boat. I just don't know that they're going to be able to do that without this spring, and we'll see what ends up happening here with the summer. But, yeah, 9-3 feels like it makes a lot of sense here at first pass.